This is a shorter chapter, so I thought I'd start by having a little fun at first. And nobody can learn Greek without learning to say hello, right? You gotta learn to say hello if you're gonna learn a language. All right. So there are actually three ways to say hello in Greek. And the first is a little more formal. If you don't know the people, you say chairein. It's actually the infinitive form. The basic word means grace. So chairein is the idea of grace to you. If you're just talking to one person and it's someone you know, it'd be chaira with the epsilon at the end. And if it's more than one person, it's chairete. So chairein or chaira or chairete. Now you know how to say hello in Greek. All right, very good, very good. We're going to talk this lesson about prepositions. And prepositions are normally pretty short little words that describe the relationship between two other words. Someone once said that a preposition is anything that a rabbit can do around his home. So a rabbit can go into the hole, out of the hole, around the hole, jump over the hole. Okay, those are all prepositions. So the preposition is that little word, and then the object of the preposition is the word that follows it. So if you would say, I'm going into the house, house is the object of the preposition into. And then the other phrase you need to know is prepositional phrase. So the preposition, its object, and any modifier, all that together is called a prepositional phrase. So into the house, into is the preposition, house is its object, and into the house is the prepositional phrase. Okay, so that's prepositions. One of the things that you need to learn about prepositions in Greek is that they generally have a very wide range of meaning. If you go to a Greek dictionary and look up any of these prepositions, you'll see that most of the entries are pretty long. For example, if you went to look up ace, might say at the top it means into, and that's its gloss. We talked about that in an earlier session. But as you read down the dictionary entry, you'll see that ace can also mean in, or ace can also mean among. Ace has a very wide range of meanings, and most of the prepositions are very, very flexible. So as you're doing your mouse overs on the text and you're seeing prepositions with different definitions pop up, don't be surprised. Prepositions have a very wide range of meaning. The other oddity, though, about prepositions is that the preposition, the way we say it's this, the preposition governs the case of its object. In other words, it determines the case of its object. Now, that's not technically accurate, but that's like third-year Greek, so we'll skip over that part. But what you'll see is that when you look at the object of a preposition, they're going to be either genitive, dative, or accusative. And it all depends upon the preposition. So, for example, some prepositions will have their objects in the accusative case. Pros is one of those prepositions. So in Matthew 3:14, it says, you come pros me, to me. Me is in the accusative because it's governed by the preposition pros. Pros can take its object in the accusative. So me is the accusative, not because it's a direct object, but because it's the object of the preposition pros. Other prepositions you will find can take objects in the dative. And one of those is soon. In fact, soon always takes its object in the dative. So in Mark 9 it says, Elijah appeared to him with Moses. Soon is the preposition that means with. It always takes its object in the dative. Mose is dative. And other prepositions are going to take their objects in the genitive. Hupa is one of those. So in Matthew 3:6, it says, they were being baptized in the Jordan River by him. Hup is by, and autou is the object, him. And autou is in the genitive because it's controlled by the preposition hup. So that's really all there is in this chapter. It's pretty short, but prepositions are those little words that show the relationship between other words. You have the preposition, the object, and then the modifiers to make it the prepositional phrase. They have a wide range of meanings, most of them, but they govern the case of their object. And so some prepositions will take objects in the accusative, others in the dative. others in the genitive. We're going to find out in a later session that it's actually a little more complicated than that. There are some prepositions that can take objects in 2 cases and even 3 cases, but that's another chapter and we'll deal with that when we get to it. There is vocabulary for you to learn in the online class at BillMounds.com, prepositions mostly. So make sure you go check those out.